Okay, these are the suggested runes. I have no idea, so I'm just gonna go this. Again, I haven't even read his abilities. We watched the preview once, so maybe I just pull that up real quick because I feel like I'm going to lose. Smolder gameplay.
Before the Ruination ended their line, the royal family was a bit more about... The fiery fledgling is an 80s inferno. So, you ready to play with fire? Welcome to the Smolder Champion Spotlight.
Go Smolder! Go Smolder!
Go Smolder!
Smolder's passive is Dragon Practice. Whenever he hits a champion with an ability or kills a target with Q, he learns a bit more about dragoning and gains a stack. Each stack increases the damage of his basic abilities, making
Hold on,
him extra
Anthony,
spicy
give me
as
a
he gets
second.
more practice. This means Smolder gets stronger and stronger as the game goes on, so let him cook. Q is Smolder's Super Scorcher Breath. He spits the biggest, awesomest fireball he can muster at his target. Okay, so maybe it's not that impressive yet, but you just wait.
You started it!
As Smolder gains more stacks of his passive, he enhances Super Scorcher Breath in 3 tiers. At tier 1, it deals AoE damage around the target.
Like Kale.
At tier 2, more explosions shoot off behind the initial fireball. And at tier 3, the flame burns targets for additional true damage over a few seconds. If they drop below a certain health threshold in that time, they're toast. Don't forget that Smolder gains stacks whenever he hits enemy champs with abilities or kills a unit with Q. Focus on last hitting and poking opponents with Q so he reaches those stack tiers as quickly as possible. By the time late game rolls around, he'll be a teamfight terror with tons of AoE damage. Breathing fire isn't without its challenges though, like all that soot in your nose. With W, Smolder sneezes out a fiery glob. This blast damages and briefly slows targets and explodes around any champions in the line of fire. And you thought your allergies were bad. During laning phase, Achoo is a crucial farming tool for Smolder. He can use it to soften up a wave, then last hit with Q for all the stacks. In teamfights, it's a powerful AoE spell. Hitting multiple champions sets off explosions around each one, which scale with his passive and ability rank. That late game damage is nothing to sneeze at. Don't you just love his little wings?
I don't got time. Okay, so I basically, the gist of that I got in that little brief video was, last hit minions with Q for stacks about something. That's about it. Watch the spotlight till the end? Oh yeah.
Well, they aren't just for princely charm. Smolder's E, flap, 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 sends him into the air for a short duration where he ignores terrain and gains move speed and vision. He'll bombard the closest enemy in range with bursts of flame, prioritizing the lowest health champion. Smolder's E can help him catch fleeing enemies and secure kills, but it's also his only escape tool, so fly with caution or you may crash and burn.
What did I do?
Behind every adorable baby dragon is a Smolder's ult summons Mom to teach a lesson to any meanies picking on her son. A face-melting, scorched earth kind of lesson. After casting, Smolder's mom flies overhead, breathing down a wave of fire and burning enemies to a crisp. Targets caught in the center take extra damage and are slowed.
It's so slow.
The wave starts a little bit behind Smolder's position and continues over a long distance. Anyone who might be hit by the flames will hear Mom's roar as a warning, so best run for cover if you can. Nothing burns quite like a mother's love. While the spell can help Smolder disengage if he's in a bad spot, his mom is best at starting fights. Especially if the enemy team is grouped up. Slow them down with the center of Smolder's ult, then go full blast with the rest of his AoE damage.
He's not doing anything in these clips.
Smolder's Dragon Practice stacks are the fuel for turning this glowing ember into a roaring blaze. He needs to farm safely in the early game to stack his passive and improve his Q before he's ready to take on the world. That means he'll need a more lane-dominant support looking out for him while he grows big and strong. Champions who can zone opponents off will make great lane partners for this Widow kiddo. On the other hand, he may struggle against lane bullies who can force him to retreat and lose out on stats. Without much dragon practice, his ability to trade is limited, so enemies with lots of poke and engage tools are blistering counterpicks against Smolder. Where he really burns brightest is teamfighting. Thanks to his powerful AoE damage, roasting grouped up enemies is his specialty. But like most ADCs, he needs to position wisely to stay safe. Fly in solo and you might just fizzle out. Smolder is designed to be a simpler marksman with an approachable kit. So if you've been looking for a reason to learn ADC, who burns hotter than
he's doing 0 damage in any of these clips, by the way. Like not even a little. It's negative. It's almost like the autos are healing. Actually, I'm so confused. Maybe he's probably got to get buffed, but.
ADC, consider this a warm invitation to try the fiery fledgling. Likewise, if you enjoy marching with their own escape tools like Ezreal or Zeri, or adorable forces of destruction like Tristana and Kog'Maw,
I love Trist.
you may want to take Smolder for a test.
I love Trist.
And of course, if you love getting stacks on stacks on stacks, looking at you Veigar and Nasus fans, then the scaling damage should be just what you're looking for. Whew, is it toasty in here or just me? I gotta go cool off. Learn how to train your dragon at the links below, and bring the heat with Smolder, the fiery fledgling.
Maybe there's like those YouTubers that play it on PBE.
Smolder is with Elo is because of his infinite scaling, similar to champions like Veigar or Aurelion Sol. Scaling champions are without sitting in lane A good fights. Not only that, but the stacking process are more than capable of fighting early on. Trying to farm stacks? Don't worry, that's not the case at all. You are more than capable of fighting early on. Sure, you won't be Draven levels of strong, but you're not going to AFK every lane. You can definitely take chances and look for good fights. Not only that, but the stacking process can actually be quite enjoyable. You will be
This guy's full tank.
deleting waves quickly while powering up in a very satisfying way, so it won't feel like a chore as it does on other stacking champions. That being said, stacking efficiently in a satisfying way, so it can actually be quite enjoyable. You will be deleting waves quickly while powering up in a very satisfying way. Every game is without a doubt the most important. How many stacks you can stack an enemy champion with your Q. Why we mentioned that this won't be as annoying as on other champions is that and its evolution it will evolve to deal splash damage around the target. This course and mirror mana stacking super. Keep in mind on Smolder is that getting ahead will usually mean you stay ahead. The more passive stacks you have early, the more Q evolutions.
Bruiser build? I mean, I'm kind of down to try
Trinity.
Trinity.
Farm more waves, look for more trades, and so on. Basically, if you do well early, you'll be able to keep that momentum easily and keep stacking super fast.
Makes sense.
Snowball out of control. On the flip side, if you struggle early on and don't get many passive stacks, then you'll slowly fall behind. You can't farm as many waves, take as many fights, etc. And as a result, you will stack your passive super slowly and not be nearly as effective as you should be. What this means is that super small optimization can add up a lot, since getting to a Q evolution even just 1 minute faster might be the difference between a won or lost game. First things first, we recommend you run biscuits in your rune page.
Your
While you
shit,
will eventually
skill
fix
cat.
your mana
Shut up.
issues, you won't be able to spam spells early
It's
on. Having biscuits to replenish
This guy wants biscuits on a scaling champion in Season 14. Moves this guy made 3 hours ago. Are you trolling me? You're telling me going to Inspiration Secondary on a perma scale is better than Absolute Focus Gathering Storm? Are you stupid? You can't be right. There's no way.
your mana when you run out will usually let you spam your Q.
There's no way. I can't take this seriously.
Involving your if you really want to improve in load.
So you don't miss the early stacks? I'm good, bro. I kind of like Transcendence instead of, yeah, let's go Transcendence. Trying PTA also. The skin, Champs is stack or do nothing? I think it's just a do nothing, to be honest. But all right, not going lethality again. That felt terrible, obviously. Oh, back to Masters, playing Smolder. Wow. So far, Trinity felt the best, by far. Quickblade Rush is better. I'm not sure if you need Essence. Would they build in that video again?
Smolder is without a doubt one of the Q evolution, even just 1 minute faster, might be the difference between a won or lost.
125
First
stacks
things
at
first, we
13
recommend you
minutes.
run slot, since getting to a Q evolution, even
This
just
game
1
they're
minute
Essence,
faster,
this
might
game
be the
they're
difference between
tank.
a won or lost game. First things first, we recommend you run biscuits in your rune. Already
Okay, we
got
gotta get a new
splash
guide.
damage. This can get you a couple of extra stacks at your Q's evolution. break.
Smolder.
Finally, if you want to use your W to trade, try to throw.
Long ago,
Why play Smolder bot? Well, he scales he has. Smolder's Q can deal into more passive laners who he will have time to scale against, and he can struggle against aggressive laners who will bully him early. For runes, take this. PTA gives you great single target damage and greatly helps your early game. For build orders, start Blade and Pot into an Essence Reaver and tier 2 boots. After this, quick blades are a great pickup before finishing your build with any of these.
Alright, I'll try this time. PTA, I'll try this exact build. ER into... Actually, it kind of makes sense, because then I don't need tier if I go ER.
As needed. For skill order, start Q then W then E before maxing Q then W then E, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, take Flash and Heal. Starting the game, you're looking to scale into a late game beast, and you can do this both through farming hard and stacking your passive. When looking to opportunities to take good trades with your opponent, and your short trades are actually really good. And otherwise, you're going to look for opportunities to take good trades with your opponent, and your short trades are actually really good. An auto attack into Q, followed by an auto attack into W, and an auto into E will proc PTA and deal a chunk of damage. Into Q, followed by an auto attack to take good trades with your opponent, and your short trades are actually really good. An auto attack into Q, followed by an auto attack into W, and an auto into E will proc PTA and deal a chunk of damage, as well as getting you multiple stacks of your passive. And from here, you can retreat with your E or chase them down as needed. needed. Entering the mid game, you want to take your tower as soon as possible and then rotate mid with your support. This puts 2 strong champions in the center of the map,
it's no
allowing you to
damage.
siege and easily rotate to
all these videos I've watched, it's actually 0 damage, but
you want to play the backline hyper.
Later
At this
on,
point in the
you
game, with
like
a
your
well-placed
your
passive, you
Q
will do
execute
insane amounts of
eventually
AoE
does damage.
So attack anything in front of you and spam out your AoE abilities. Use E to keep yourself safe.
Eventually, as the game goes on, then you do damage. You have to get 225 stacks though, then you do damage. Okay, we're gonna be really tested this game because apparently he's trash against bruisers, and I'm playing against Draven Blitzcrank with a Morgana. So this might get
White
tough.
place ability, which your additional true orders for E, and if you have ult, then the ult great into more passive aggressive single target damage and greatly helps your early game.
Says
For build
mana
orders,
flow.
start Blade and Pot into an Essence Reaver and tier 2 boots. After this, Quick Blades are a great pick.
Let's see how this goes. Alright, we're going to Essence Reaver first. How's he not banned every game? Streamer benefits. Riot Games is actually paying me to promote the champion, so they've guaranteed that it will never be banned in my lobbies. Yep.
I don't take orders from anyone.